Hello everyone, it's Daniel and thanks for watching CoinHelpU's latest video. I want to discuss today coin values, and I want to discuss the actual value of coins. I don't know whether you trust in the Redbook. And by the way, one thing about the Redbook, that the 2020 is already out, so I guess we already know what the values of coins are going to be next year. I don't like that. I just think that that's just trying to push the sales better. It's not about coin values at that point. But to defend the Redbook, it is also a very good resource for coin information, even though I recommend kind of ignoring the prices. But you've got Coin World, numismatic news, there's coin prices, you've got all kinds of publications. Then you've got the Coin Dealer newsletter. Then you have all kinds of websites. USA Coin Book is one. You've got Numismedia, I think online is another one. You've got PCGS, NGC price guides. My website has price guides. You can get all over. Dave Lawrence has a price guide on his site. Coin Study, I believe it is. You can go on and on and on and find all these prices, and everybody's like, who's right? Who's wrong? What price? How much is my coin worth? How do I know how much my coin's worth? Well, we're going to talk about that, and we're going to look into a few things. So, stay tuned. One thing that I want to tell everyone is that the Redbook is values based off of large dealers. And let's talk about large dealers for a minute. The large dealers are the ones that are PCGS dealers, NGC dealers, PNG dealers, and to be those dealers you have to have a lot of inventory. It's at least 250,000 at the bottom for a PNG dealer in inventory alone. You have to prove you have that inventory. Of course, you can be an associate, or you can be in. They've got smaller tiers there, but basically most of these dealers, they've got millions in inventory. They've been dealing for a long time. Some of them are on the board of PCGS. They're in the know. They go to the big shows. They've got the money, and they've got the big clients that are willing to pay money for top quality coins, no matter what they charge for it. They just want the coins. Now, I don't know about every other publication like Coin World, but I can speak that Redbook has a program that these dealers use to enter values in, and they enter these values in and they submit them to the Redbook. I'm sure that there's something similar with the other publications, and when they do that, they send it off. And I'm like I said, I only know a little bit of this firsthand. I don't know all the details. I'm kind of paraphrasing, and I'm kind of, dumbing it down a little bit for me because, there's all kinds of factors going into these coin values. But suffice it to say, anytime a large dealer tells me a price, I know that's suggested retail. Unless I can look at the gray sheet and see that it's well within 10%, 20% above gray sheet, and that's kind of, pretty good indicator that it's a decent value. But if I look and see that PCGS price is lower than that or higher, I'm not even going to get into the CAC pricing on that. But if it's higher than PCGS values or even matches PCGS values, to me, that's too high. But is it? I know some examples here. I've had some 1950D Jefferson nickels. They were mint state 66. I looked in PCGS values, and PCGS values was $90. You know what the gray sheet was? $95. So the gray sheet was actually more than the PCGS. And I've seen this a couple times. Got a couple examples of this. So you've got to really do your research. But you can use these as guides. They're just guides. That's all they are. Some of these, like the Redbook and Coin World, Coin Values, they're suggested retail. You see it all the time. You look at a sticker, go to the Walmart, you go anywhere, and you'll see suggested retail prices. They don't sell for that. That's just what the manufacturer suggests you sell it for. It's kind of a marketing gimmick. It's not that it's fraudulent. It's just a good way to say, hey, this is what we think it's really worth, and this is all you have to pay. It's just it's business. It's not illegal. Nobody's doing anything wrong. It's nothing like that. Okay. But anyway, when we're looking at some of these prices on this, one thing that you need to realize is that they're called price guides for a reason, because they're just guides. They give you maybe a high mark so that you can develop a baseline for what coins are worth. My suggestion is you get you some gray sheets, or a gray sheet, get you a Redbook, or if you have PCGS coins or NGC coins, and find you a medium baseline. Then I highly recommend, and this is what you're going to see at coin shows, I see it all the time, they will look at Heritage sold auctions, Stacks and Bowers sold auctions, Legends sold auctions, and even some eBay buy it now auctions. And they will go by that value when they value coins and buy coins, because those are the most recent sales on these coins and is a better indicator of where the value is actually heading or actually where it's been. So that's what I recommend. These are okay, and they've got some good information, have good articles. I'm not bashing any of them, I'm not saying that at all. But when you want to know your true coin values, this is what you need to do. Mainly sold auctions is what I recommend first. But you can always get a baseline. 10 to 20% seems like some coins on Gray Sheet, 10 to 20% above that, sometimes 30%. It all depends on the eye appeal of that coin. It also depends on whether that coin has a CAC sticker on it. There's those kind of factors there determine how much that coin's going to be worth, how much it's going to sell for. Just because it's in a big dealer's hands don't mean it's a better quality coin. It can mean that, because if they've got a better eye and they've been in the business for a long time and they're selecting choice coins, they probably had to pay more for it and they expect to get more out of it. That's the other thing. A lot of your larger dealers consider themselves market makers. So if they put a price on a coin, they're making that market for that coin. Me, I have a little conflict with that, because when you consider all the coin shows in every state and every town, all over the United States, all 50 states, there's at least one coin show in that state every weekend, or at least 2 weekends a month. That's a lot of coin shows. And then you have all these coin shops all over the United States and all these flea markets. Does anybody ever think that any publication could take into account all those thousands of transactions that are not by the big time dealers and use that as a price guide? So you can't, and it's not considered. They consider the big shows, the big dealer sales, but that's not really fair to the small dealers and the small sales. So anyway, I guess the other thing on top of that is also raw coins. I mean, we can do the Grady coin thing here, take the Redbook, and we can take the Gray Sheet, we take, Coin World, we can come together with PCGS website and NGC website and come with an average. But that's not going to tell us about raw coins. Raw coins, really, if you want to get down to it, are going to sell for less. And basically looking at, you take, let's say it looks like it's a 65 coin, let's say it's a Morgan dollar, you take it mint state 65 coin and you're trying to get 60 price out of it. That's basically what you need to do. If it's a mint state coin, you're probably looking at trying to get about 60 price out of it. In the Gray Sheet here, Gray Sheet's probably a better indicator for raw coin values because it's a little bit lower. But also you can get on eBay, look at a buy it now for it, pick 5 buy it nows. Let's say take an 1881S Morgan dollar, take 5 different values that they sold for, buy it now, uncirculated, and they all look kind of similar, maybe in the mint state 63 or 4 range, and you can actually divide it by 5 and just come up with your value. It's all different ways of looking at coins. It's the same thing with cents. I mean, if you've got a cent you think's worth some money, get on eBay, check out what they're selling for. Look at the buy it now. Sometimes the bids are a little bit lower than they should be because somebody got lucky, somebody listed it incorrectly or let it end at the wrong time of day when most people weren't watching eBay. So that's one of the things that you want to consider too, in your raw coins. And if you've got a huge collection and you want to know how much they're worth, you're going to have to sit down, and I recommend using an Excel sheet. If you've got a bunch of modern Lincoln cents, you can bet that they're probably not going to be worth that much money, and most of them are not. But you can get a Gray Sheet, you can see what they're worth by a BU roll. So this has a list of BU rolls in it, and that's a good thing about the Gray Sheet. Definitely can use that to find out some coin values on your rolls, on your sets, your proof sets and things like that, and you can kind of add a little bit to that and say, well, I'm probably going to get 10% above that, or maybe 20%. And it's a good indicator. Well, coin values are not that difficult if you actually, delve into it and do your averages and look at your heritage sold auctions. But don't think for a minute that whatever's in this book or coin values is going to be the Bible. None of them are the Bible. Okay, they're all guides. They're just a guideline so you can form a baseline for coin values. And another thing that I would like to share when it comes to these coin values is I have gray sheets that go all the way back, 2009, 8. I've got a 16 here. I've got the latest gray sheet right here. And what you're not hearing a lot about is that prices have dropped on coins. Now I know that silver was up in 2011 at an all-time high since 1980, 81. And that's dropped, and I know that that's part of this, but there seems to be more to it than that. The market seems to be flooded with a lot of graded coins. And I mentioned Morgan dollars because that is a coin that I do watch the market on a lot. It's one of my favorite coins. I love the deal in Morgans. But Morgan dollars, basically a mint state 65, for example, in 2017 was $150. Now it's $100, and it's dropped that much. Now retail values haven't really declined much. They've pretty much kept those up. Now you've got your ups and downs. Silver values and gold's up and down. It's being controlled by computers, people's computer trading, and there's, we all know, we're not going to get into all that, but values have declined a little bit. If you look at heritage sold auctions, you'll see some values have declined on certain coins. That's evident. You don't hear a whole lot about it. Everybody wants to talk about how strong the market is. I think the market's strong for what it is. I don't think that it's in, a recession of any type. I do think that some prices needed to be adjusted, and they were adjusted. I don't think it's panic time, but I just wanted to make a note of that when you're checking values. And you just remember, some coins are worth less than what they were in a couple years ago. Commemoratives are another thing. Mint sets are another thing. Take the 1999 S silver proof set. It was upwards of $500, $300 there a couple, 3 years ago. Now it's down to where you can get it for $50 and $60. So there's just some examples that you have to look into, and you have to go case by case. I hope this helped you understand a little bit more about coin values and what to look for. I do highly recommend that when you're learning coin values, the best thing to do is to be open-minded and to realize that, that coin that you may have paid too much for, that you thought you got a good deal on, may have not been such a good deal. And that's just the way it is. It happens in this market. I can never say that I never paid too much for a coin, and it's not easy to take that lump. But I got to take my medicine sometimes myself. Sometimes you get a little overzealous and you're thinking you're getting a good deal, and you're trying to, make a deal with someone, and then you end up finding out you paid a little too much. And that's just the way it works in this business. Please like, share, and comment. I'm at 9,000 subscribers plus, and I hope all 9,000 of them would watch this video and like it and comment. I know that's not realistic, but anyway. So there's my take on coin values. I have a lot of experience going to the shows. No, I'm not a big time dealer. I'm not in the know. I don't send off prices to any of these price guides or anything like that. I do have my own price guide on CoinHelp, my website, and I go by sold coin auctions is what I use mine. And I also use the gray sheet a little bit, 10%, 20% above. Make it most accurate, try to reflect the market, the current market. So anyways, you guys, have a great day.